What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Carl and Jacquice show.
I'm Carl,
And I'm Jacquice.
and this is another episode of Pillow Talk.
And tonight we're talking about a very important topic of intimacy.
Yes, intimacy is such a great subject, although heavily misconstrued in a lot of different circles. So, what we want to do tonight is zero in on the different areas of intimacy to make sure that people understand exactly what is going on or what should be going on in this space.
Yeah, so let's start by putting this out there. Whenever someone says intimacy, most of the time people immediately think about sex. Intimacy is not all about sex. It's about getting to, your partner's innermost thoughts. It's about having conversations about things that you may not easily talk about at any moment. Aside from talking, about what feelings you have, it can be something as simple as holding hands, going for a walk in the park, or going for a walk at night, or, reading a book together. It's about genuine quality time. That's what it's about.
Intimacy is a deep personal connection. That's what it's about. It's about that much further below the surface, how you feel, what you think, what's important to you, what's important to your partner. That's what intimacy is about. It's about going a little bit deeper. So normally, or back in the day, you could say there's nothing more deep or more intimate than making love or exploring each other during intercourse, right? So that's why when people hear the word intimacy, they automatically go right there. Because what's more intimate than that? Sharing yourself with your partner, right? But that's not the only way to be intimate. You can sit down and talk about your innermost thoughts, your innermost feelings, fears, um, things that you're hoping for, things that are important to you, things that you hate or don't like, things that frustrate you. Sometimes that debrief at the end of the day, when you're done with work, that conversation can be a very intimate one where your partner talks about all of the people that aggravated them at work or whatever they did that day.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely find myself doing that on a regular basis. It's not necessarily at the end of my night, but definitely something that I do on a regular basis.
Right.
That's
pillow talk.
Facts. It also happens in the morning.
Right.
When we first wake up. Sometimes, we just lay in the bed and just talk and talk and talk and talk. It's authentic. It happens naturally. It's not something that's planned.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so special. What are some ways that you are intimate with me personally?
One of the ways that I'm intimate with you would be when I tell you, look, we need to talk. And we just sit down and I share with you what I'm going through emotionally, what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking about. A lot of times when I have those serious slow down and let's have a conversation moments, I'm thinking about my future, our children's future. I'm thinking about our health and what is to come in the near future and even later on down the line. So when I start worrying about legacy and what is next to come, then that's when we have those kind of intimate moments, you know. Then there are those other times when I just want you to know how amazing you are, and I just want to let you know how much I love you and how I truly feel about you. And just let you know that you're not the only person that thinks you're amazing.
I really can't stand you.
No, but on a serious note, just trying to break it up a little bit. I don't need to get too steamy in here. The purpose of what I'm saying is I really find you to be amazing. And in those moments, I like to take the opportunity to share with you how I really feel about you. And so that can be a strong, intimate moment. Hmm. What about you? What are some ways that you like to express yourself intimately?
I feel like when I talk to you about things that I'm struggling with, because I know it probably seems like I'm just like this strong person all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I can understand how you can feel that way, but
Sure.
I have my trials that I go through. I have things that I'm dealing with, internally that sometimes I can't just readily express all the time. I have to process it before I bring it to you. So by the time it gets to your lap, it's very special. And that's an intimate moment for me. That's a vulnerable moment for me, which is an intimate situation.
Mm, very cool. So basically, intimacy is something that's serious, important, deep,
Authentic.
authentic. It's how you truly feel. Very cool. So, how important would you say it is for people in a serious, committed relationship to have these intimate moments?
I think it's very important. I think it's something that will grow your relationship.
Mm.
It's something that will allow you to bond with that person, a lot more than just having sex with them, because sex is, yes, it's passionate, but it's also very mechanical. You know what I mean? It's
Mm.
not the same as me telling you that I feel like I'm about to explode inside because ABCDEFG happened to me today, or I've been dealing with this for like 2-3 months, and I bring it to you. That is not the same as having sex. As much as I love you,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? It's not the same as me sharing my innermost thoughts and struggles that I'm having. Not the same.
Yeah. Or it could be positive too.
You can be.
Your intimate thoughts that you share with me could be.
Goals, aspirations. You're
Mm-hmm.
right. It can be positive. Those things can be positive too. But I guess the reason that I am steering more towards what seems to be negative is because those are the things that have us vulnerable before somebody or before each other.
Okay.
It's easy to talk about your goals and aspirations because these are things that you're happy about.
Sure.
It's not so easy to talk about something that you may be ashamed of, or
Mm-hmm.
something that may be hurting you. Those type of things, it's a lot harder to open up about.
Mm.
So when you open up to somebody that you profess to love and care about, you just created a bond. You just gave me another reason to love you because you trust me with this information. You trust me with your feelings. You trust me with your heart. That's what that says.
Mm. I like it. So I guess it means a lot then, huh?
It absolutely does.
That's really cool.
How would you feel if I wasn't, if I didn't share my struggles with you, if I didn't share my goals and aspirations, and I didn't share with you my fears or anything that I may be dealing with that may be challenging?
Seriously, I would wonder, one, who are you sharing these things with then? And if it's not me, then that's a problem. That's the first thing. Um, and if you're not sharing them with me, how can I help you to achieve the things that you want? How am I going to help you to understand how you really feel about those things? The other thing about talking with your spouse is when you say your innermost feelings out loud, once you get them out verbally, then you can yourself digest how you feel and decide how to fix it. So that's 90% of a therapist's job, is to get you talking. And once you begin to talk, you self heal. But the therapist helps to facilitate that. And that's why it's good to go and see somebody so you can talk about what you're feeling and what's going on. And once you get those words out of your soul and into the atmosphere, out of your mouth, then you can say, wow, I didn't know I really felt that way. And if I feel this way, that's what this means. And you have somebody that actually cares about you and wants to see you succeed and has your best interest at heart, hearing these things. And they can help you to decide what you want to do next about these feelings or how to deal with it.
How would you feel if I did not share those things with you?
I would feel like I'm not important enough to you to share your innermost thoughts and feelings with. And I would feel like somebody else is filling that void in my spouse's life, and that's a problem.
Would you consider that there may be a reason why those things aren't being shared with you?
I would. And we've spoken about this in another Pillow Talk video, and that was, do you feel safe? So make sure you go watch that video. So
True.
that would be the reason why you wouldn't share your innermost intimate feelings about certain things, is because you wouldn't feel safe.
Okay, so I have something to add to that.
Okay.
Because it's not always that person's fault who you're in a relationship with either.
Are we talking about emotional baggage from previous relationships?
That's an absolute fact.
Is that a thing?
That's a thing.
Wow.
Because, I could just meet you. We could be, having a good relationship going. But I refuse to give you that part of myself.
Right.
And it's because of fear of how you will respond because of something that somebody else did in a previous relationship. So that's where your patience comes in at, because you have to have patience while I work through that and help me through it. But most of your job is to be patient.
Yeah, that's true. There's also situations where it may not be a past relationship, but it could be who you were raised by and how you were raised could determine how willing you are to open up about your innermost feelings.
That's true.
So that can absolutely shape how you decide to interact with a spouse or even your friends and people who you're in contact with in close quarters.
That's true.
So there's a lot of different variables. But that's why it's important to open up those lines of communication. Give your spouse the safe feeling that they can share with you, and let them know you're there. And wait. You may be ready to hear your spouse's innermost feelings and intimate thoughts, but they may not be ready to share them. And you gotta wait. You have to be patient with them. Love is long suffering. And when you really love someone, you're willing to sacrifice your time, your efforts, and your energy.
Is that what my shirt say? I think my shirt say that on the back.
I think it does. 1 Corinthians 13:4. Yeah. So, but that's what love is. It's you sacrifice. So if I have to wait and pray for you until you can come around and share with me how you really feel, then I'm going to do that. You never want to try to force your spouse or partner. You never want to try to force them or alienate them into feeling like if they don't share their innermost feelings, then they must not really love you or they're not all the way in. You have to have patience. You don't want to push them away because they're not doing something that you want them to do. Just give it time.
It has to be in their time, not in yours. Unfortunately, it's on them to share what's inside, and your patience will allow them the freedom to feel comfortable to talk to you eventually. And guess what? If they never do, you have to be willing to accept that.
You got to be okay with that.
Because after all, it's their feelings. You can't force anybody to do anything. You cannot make anybody, you can't make decisions for people. They have to make their own decisions. You can't make people change. They have to change on their own. So the only person that you can control is you. So that is the person that I suggest that you focus on.
That's right. Like I said, you hope for, you pray for, and you stand in the gap for your partner, and you wait. And once they're ready and they start to open up, you'd be surprised what new things you find out about your spouse. And once it's easy for them to open up, then they open up more and more. And then that's when the relationship starts to change and starts to get better. You have less fights and arguments. You begin to understand each other more. A lot of people think that just because you've been together for 10, 15, or 20 years, or even longer than that, you know your spouse. You know them very well. You know them better than anybody in the world. And that may be true. But you may find out the whole world has no idea who your spouse is. And you know them better than everyone else, but no one knows them at all. And you know them a little bit. Time doesn't decide how intimate you are. You decide how close you are.
By putting the work in.
That's right.
And releasing those thoughts and having that quality time. That's how you determine that.
You want to be best friends? You absolutely can be best friends. Everyone who's married can be best friends. But you have to decide, do I want to get to know you again? Do I want to get to know you every week? Do I want to get to know you every year? And if that is reciprocated, work together. And then you'll be able to do it.
Facts. And if everybody is trying to please the other person, then everybody should be well taken care of.
That's right. If everyone's looking out for everyone else, who's left out? No one.
This episode is not about intimacy anymore.
Is it?
No.
What, that last line?
No.
If you're intimate, you can be best friends. If you can be intimate and deep and things of that nature, then you can have all the other stuff that you want in your spouse. So it starts with the intimacy. If you don't have the intimacy, you got nothing. You got a homeboy, you got a homegirl, you got a friend, you got a roommate.
Well, I have to disagree.
Okay.
Because you can have a homegirl, and girls talk. We share. That's intimate. We share our deepest thoughts and emotions and feelings and situations, all of that. Those are intimate things.
Okay.
So it's not just a homegirl or a homeboy.
Yeah, but the people that you share your intimate feelings with are your best what?
Friends.
Your best friends. So we're talking about making your spouse your best friend. And the way to do that is through intimacy. So, well, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And most of all, share. Because why not?
Tell us what you think about the show. Tell us what you don't like, what you do like, what you love. Tell us all of that. Leave it in the comments.
Yeah. Also, you can follow us on IG at the Carland Show. You can follow us on Twitter. Tweet at us. We're here for it at Jacquice. And on Facebook at the Carland Show. And you can email your questions or comments at askcarlandjacquice@gmail.com. If you have something that you want us to talk about on here, send it there.
Remember, guys, God loves you, so love yourselves first so that you can effectively love someone else. Be blessed.
Enjoy yourselves.